I like things that are weird. In my adolescence, I joined Multiplying Fractions Anonymous. Sort of like Alcoholics Anonymous, but obviously for math. I've always liked the fringes, soap making, obscure Japanese film, and when I first learned about live action role-playing, LARP, the costumes fascinated me and the implements. Foam swords and shields. I spent my childhood engrossed in Arthurian legends and fantasy novels. We all know what the stereotypical gamer looks like. He's male, between 14 and 45, and when he's not doing damage on World of Warcraft, while drinking Mountain Dew, he's dreaming that one day a live woman will talk to him. And maybe the idea of LARP, make-believe for adults on steroids, also spoke to my failed theater aspirations in high school, where I was a perennial chorus member and never the lead. So, I wanted more. Upon first hearing the term LARP, you might think it's what you do after some heavy drinking. BBC News calls LARP the game of fantasy you always wanted to play as a child, but with better rules, better resources, and more fun. Yet, what's posed as adult games are really outlets to cope with pain, loss, and being an outcast. LARP uses fantasy to deal with reality. Leaving Mundania by Lizzie Stark. While it's cool to wear jerseys to the game, Americans think adult dress-up and make-believe is meant for dorks. LARP is so geeky, even Trekkies poo-poo it. So it keeps LARPers in the closet. They hide where they go on weekends with euphemisms like camping. For my first day at LARPapalooza, I chose a genre that gave in to secret fantasies I harbored as a child, huddled under the sheets with a book. Medieval fantasy! But as the feathers in my cap actually quaked in my borrowed costume, I began to dread that people would send mocking glances my way that told me I didn't belong. Some LARPers tell tales that they cease to control their characters. Instead, their characters control them. But I didn't think I'd be taking this ultimate vacation from myself, working out personal issues or experiencing catharsis. I look like a freak! After I found a seat at the inn, I noticed battery-powered candles, since this Boy Scout camp did not permit open flames. Because the wine that made the people drunk was Kool-Aid, my real intoxication was with the deeply engaged, quirky species of Homo pretendus, grown-ups in elf ears. Suddenly, goblins burst through the inn, and a green-faced monster slashed someone as he cried out in pain. I dove under the table. Then, guardsmen appeared, bristling with swords to put a grisly end to the goblins. All while the man above bled out on the table, and his niece screamed for a healer. Adrenaline catapulted me into laughing hysterically, half at the sight of adults pretending to kill each other in the dark, and half in fear. But what danger had I really faced? The goblins were men in green masks with foam bats. Yet while crouched on the ground, I felt real terror, coupled with delight. Like people watching ex-murderers at the movies. I overcame my newbie urge to feel ridiculous, shocked into the game and out of myself. During the night, I expected things possibly lurking in the woods to try and kill me. They freaked me out, so I never walked alone. When I woke after 2 hours of sleep, I felt funny. Not funny, ha ha, more funny, Kafka. I couldn't remember who I was. And maybe ideas I had about who I was weren't important. And if I could take off this new identity, how could anyone have an identity? How could I be me? But soon I became immune to men in kilts with Scottish accents of varying authenticity, and to large bosoms squeezed into corsets. Then I stopped shrieking whenever I saw a goblin. By then, I decided to conduct an experiment, see if LARP could bring together any group of people. My qualified expert to help with the game was Derek. After 11 years playing LARP, he knows what he's talking about. But Derek does not resemble the stereotypical gamer. He's tall, an athlete, and he's black. A black man, he says, does not engage in dressing up. That's soft. For Derek, LARP is a huge stress reliever. A place where he doesn't have to live up to expectations. And a place where he can let his imagination play. All this raises the question, when is a closeted LARPer not LARPing? We had to create a plot, gather props. The location was easiest. I had access to a 3-story pink monstrosity belonging to my parents, so long as the fake blood didn't stain the carpet. With a basement perfect for hiding serial murderers. For novices, the player costumes looked impressive. The best was a girl, playing part of an elite and a secret order. She wore a smart military vest, pants tucked into high boots, a rosary hung from her belt, and she came armed to the teeth with a full rifle. I worried about conflicting my emotions with my characters. Love feels more dangerous to play than violence. If I fall in love with another character during game, how do I turn off that emotion? And what happens if I can't? Or don't want to? Then Derek said something like, "We're all here in face paint. We're all a bunch of dorks. Let's go have some fun." But no one picked up anything. No weapons or oversized dictionaries with rituals written inside. There was a lull. So I bombed the gong, indicating it was new, and led players to the first creepy thing. A character unconscious on a bed, her makeup very pale. The lull continued. So I bombed the gong again, and my horde of zombies attacked our first combat. Now all of the players were into the game. I bombed the gong again for zombies! More zombies! Every time I bombed the gong, freaky things happened. Dead bodies in the basement, corpses in the living room, and a flash of fear would come over me and I'd bleed! Laughing hysterically because it was all make-believe, but still so terrifying. Everyone said they had a good time. Nearly everyone felt the game had brought them closer, and I got to yell at people. I was so hyped up on adrenaline and relief when it was over that I almost threw up. But I was truly alive. I learned many things about myself through LARP. Love is an emotion, and physical boundaries are easier to maintain. And I'm a self-conscious, vain, unspontaneous sort of person. But I learned to embrace my own weird. As the months wore on, I rarely missed the LARP itself. I missed the people. LARP joins its players into a tightly knit community. After all, LARPers have faced death together. But my character never died. I tried to die. Being naturally curious about the last great adventure, I wanted to know how it would feel. I would have preferred some martyr death. I didn't realize how hard it would be when I simply stopped playing.